What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so the criticisms of LeBron Ramon James, the fallout of LeBron Ramon James for skipping the All-Star game continues. They ain't stopped yet. So I believe this is FanDuel, right? FanDuel. This podcast with Chandler Parsons, Lou Williams, I believe it is, and Michelle Beadle. And former NBA player Chandler Parsons called out LeBron James for being selfish, and he made a very good point about really how LeBron is kind of ungrateful, considering that the league has his son playing, and many of us feel like he shouldn't even be in the NBA. So you're subjecting the NBA to your tomfoolery, having this kid in league who really should be in college, but yet you're upset because, you know what I'm saying, you don't like, perhaps because your son, I mean, there's some rumors now that he's mad because his son wasn't part of the All-Star weekend festivities as far as being selected to something, or I don't know, whatever little petty grievances this guy has at this point in time. But anyway, here's Chandler Parsons.
Here's the problem I have, and it's with what we're talking about this in particular with LeBron James not wanting to play against rising stars. All these other NBA players have to play against his son because LeBron has kind of put him in that situation. Who's a rising star? So what's the difference now? What he doesn't want to play against the young guys, but everyone else is different.
Completely different.
How's it different? Because those kids deserve to be there.
Why is it different? Like, why is it different?
What is he taking away from? What is he taking away from anybody? He's not taking away from anybody.
He took away an all-star. He took away an all-star from like Sabonis that should have been there.
Well, you mentioned Bronny. Bronny's not taking away.
I'm saying about the rising star situation. The rising star situation.
He wasn't a part of it. Yeah. So you're saying that.
But Lou,
son is playing. Go ahead.
Chandler's saying like that the league and players in the league have basically been forced to indulge LeBron's family dream and to have Bronny be there, which is fine. We've accepted it. It is what it is. But he couldn't be bothered to give anybody a heads up notice more than 30 minutes before the game starts so that somebody else could have been there. And if it is in fact because you don't want to play against the rising stars, then that's a little hypocritical.
So again, you have a team of rising stars. If LeBron James sits out, who's going to replace him? All of the guys that were going to replace him are in the game. Trae Young was in the game. Like the only person that was left on the bubble was LaMelo Ball. That's it. Other than that,
so you think his ankle and foot thing started 20 minutes before the game started, or do you think he's had a few days with heads up?
So again, he has a different standard than everybody else because Luka wasn't there at all. But we don't even speak about that. He has a different standard than everybody else. So I can appreciate the fact that you even showed up to this. You even showed up because I wouldn't have showed up. Like you just said, Michael Jordan wouldn't have showed up. Kobe Bryant wouldn't have showed up. But we still seen him on the screen. We still seen him there. We still seen him participate in however fashion that he did it, whether he kept his street clothes on in the team picture or whatever, he was there. And we're saying the two other guys that would be in his position wouldn't have even been in the building. So what is the criticism? Like somebody else could have got a spot that 8 rising stars got? Yes. What?
I think that this ankle has been lingering for a while. Just look at he's been on the injury report for a game time decision, the games leading up. So you kind of knew it was a possibility that you weren't going to play. So I think it's just can be viewed as selfish that you didn't want someone else to replace you. And the rising stars thing. Would he have played if they put Bronny James in the game, Lou? You think?
100%.
Look, about that point about Michael Jordan and Kobe, they wouldn't have played, or they wouldn't have shown up if they were hurt. I guess that's what his point was. Well, they may not have shown up if they were hurt, although I tend to think they probably would have. But I tell you what, if they were hurt, they would have given the league far advance notice that they weren't going to be able to go, which would have allowed for a substitute all-star to have that great experience. They wouldn't have selfishly clung on until last minute and then all of a sudden say, oh, I can't go. But that's the problem with these guys, man. Lou Williams, all right, man, but he's one of those the sycophants. Their judgment is really cloudy when it comes to LeBron James. They make really bad, judgment calls based upon their obsession with that guy. But yeah, man, he made a good point about if Bronny was part of this weekend in some way, shape, or form, he would have participated. He's in his feelings somehow, man, and that's what happens. But I blame the media for that, or the little media. I blame them for that because they created this monster. That's what happens when you're constantly praised 24/7. There's an expression I use sometimes: equality to those who are used to privilege feels like oppression. Equality to those used to privilege feels like oppression. So a guy like LeBron James, the uber narcissist that he is, whenever you do criticize him, even if it's like tepid amounts of criticism, to him it's a grave injustice because how dare you criticize me? I'm a god. No, man, you ain't no god. Guards don't have 4-6 final records. They just don't. They just don't. NBA gods tend to have perfect final records, like Michael Jordan. But it is what it is. I mean, he can get mad if he wants to, but it's the I think it's justified. You know what I'm saying? I think all of the criticism of him this time around, well, he's always been justified, in my opinion, being criticized. But this time, man, he deserves every bit of it. And people starting to see that side of him more. All he cares about is himself, man. He don't care about the game. A lot of these guys don't really care about the game, man. All LeBron James cares about is getting paid and having people kiss his ass. That's pretty much it. I know one thing. I can't wait for him to be retired, man. I really, really can't. People think oh man, you have nothing to talk about, man. You must not have no idea, man. I can't wait for LeBron James to retire. So maybe perhaps finally the NBA can move on to focusing on some other player. But anyway, man, shout out to Chandler Parsons for calling out this fraud, man. This imposter. League's bent over. The Lakers are bent over backwards to try to please this dude, man. He still be in his feelings about stuff, man. Can't please a narcissist, man. Never can. Man, that's all I got to say about it.